Hello, this is the 275th day of heroic resistance of Ukraine. This is Natalia Starobravo, and we continue a series of briefings at Ukraine Media Center. We have Hryhorii Plachkov with us, the former head of State Nuclear Regulatory Inspectorate. Hello, Hryhorii. Hello, everyone. Well, quite recently, Ukraine has suffered a very sad event because of the lowering of frequency in the grid. The emergency shutdowns took place. So could you please tell us what is the state of our power plants at the moment and what this shutdown means for us? Well, I do agree with you. This is the first time in our history of using the nuclear power in Ukraine that all NPPs have been shut down, and the preventive measures were applied to all these NPPs. Zaporizhia NPP was transferred to diesel generators again. This is a very complicated situation at the moment, but the radiation and the nuclear safety matters at NPPs are within the norm. The energy blocks are being connected to the energy system of Ukraine because we can shut them down in a moment, but getting them back on track and connecting them back to the United Energy Grid would require a lot of time because it's necessary to check all the safety measures and make sure that all parameters are safe to connect energy nuclear energy blocks. So there's a lot of work done on the part of our energy experts, the military, the rescue services, and so on, to restore energy supply to everyone so that the energy system can work properly. We know that the energy blocks are starting their operation today and starting gaining momentum. So how much time do you think we need to restore their proper work? Well, 1 to 3 days. If there are no damages to electrotechnical equipment, they can be safely connected to the United Energy Grid, but we need time for that, and I've already mentioned that. We need to check all safety and security systems, and we need to achieve the parameters that would allow for connecting the energy blocks and synchronizing them with the energy system. So I think 1 to 3 days would be needed for the nuclear energy blocks to be connected to the grid again. Well, unless we have some other events again. So how do the energy blocks work right now? Because we have witnessed the automatic shutdown, but they need something to keep working. So how do they operate at the moment? Well, they all are connected to the network, and talking about the diesel generators or emergency systems that worked at the NPPs. So all NPPs are now connected to the United Energy Grid, including the Zaporizhia NPP, so they can use the electricity from grid instead of the generators for their own purposes, and the diesel generators have been disconnected. So this is the latest official information we have. How do you assess the impact of this outage on the work of NPPs and on supply of power? Because, well, these fluctuations, they definitely have negative impacts. Well, yes, they do have negative impact because we have the cycles of work of the fuel, and also there's a lot of sensitive electrotechnical equipment and the generators, and also there are also the distribution devices on NPPs, and also the stations of NAC Ukrinform. So we live in a very complicated situation right now, but our energy experts have been heroically fighting these challenges. We still have some resources, but they are not eternal. But I really hope that we will manage. But I can't give any predictions in case we have any further missile strikes, because with every next strike we lose unique equipment. And you see, I have power supply, you have power supply, so we still can connect online and command something online. So I think that our energy experts are heroic. Well, yes, we do have power supply, but a part of Ukraine doesn't have it. Some cities and towns don't have power supply. Some people have been without power supply for a day or more than that. So according to your assessments, how much energy is being produced by energy blocks and power plants to provide Ukraine with power? Well, the work of our energy system i- is well. This is very sensitive information. In fact, I do have some information about what energy blocks are in operation and which of them are not. Hryhorii, unfortunately, we cannot hear you well. But I don't want to voice this information not to help our enemy, because that may lead to the worst situation. Well, the situation, how the energy blocks work, how the Russians are shelling Ukraine and Ukrainian energy blocks, that the IAEA is watching all this and they have voiced their concern that there's a risk of the increase of the radiation there. So what can you tell us about these risks? Well, yes, uh, 15, 16 hours ago, he had an interview. He talked to the journalist, and this was published for everyone to watch. So they have been working with the matters of nuclear safety of the Zaporizhia NPP, and as Mr. Referent Gorski says, there is a certain progress in terms of the agreements concerning the safety at Ukrainian NPPs, including the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant and Chernobyl power plant, and also the Pivdенно-Ukrainska South Ukrainian NPP. Please excuse us. We got disconnected from Hryhorii. As soon as he's back, we will continue. Yes, I'm here. Hryhorii is back with us, so please let us continue. Well, I'm trying to say that he is going to try and send the IAEA inspectors to all nuclear power plants in Ukraine, including the Chernobyl power plant, Rivne power plant, the South Ukrainian and Khmelnytsk power plants, for assistance, for providing consultations, and also to track the situation at all nuclear power plants in Ukraine. And he will keep working on establishing a security area around the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, and as he has mentioned, he has some progress um, in negotiations with both parties. Well, while we still have a connection, so IAEA General Director mentioned physical safety of NPPs in Ukraine. So what did he mean by that? When we talk about physical safety, this is about military safety. I believe, as far as I understand, I wouldn't like to uh, comment much on what Rafael Grossi said, because he's an international actor, but I think this is more about the air defense systems, because we need to protect our nuclear power plants, the main ones, the main substations of Ukrinform, and also thermal power plants, and also hydropower plants. So I think that he's been talking about the reinforcement of our air defense systems, so that we can fight with these arrays of missiles and drones using the new systems. Thank you. We expect to get more help from our international partners, and we hope that everything will be all right. Well, if I may, to conclude, I would like to say on social media, I've seen a very good phrase by Svetlana Hulikova, who wrote that a country with generators is much stronger than a country with degenerates. So we will withstand. For sure, this was Hryhorii Plachkov, the former head of State Nuclear Regulatory Inspectorate. Thank you. Thank you. So we will meet a little later at the special event, which is a panel discussion. So please follow our